Okay. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, let's start the session now. It's already 4:05 p.m. Okay, let's start the chapter today. Yesterday we stopped in the groups of divorce, right? The talaq, fasku, and the kullu. Today we are going to continuing from the categorized, okay, the categories of the talaq, right? Today we are going to start from the categories of the talaq. Okay. Yes. When we speaks about the categories of talaq, okay, the categories of talaq is divided into two. Remember, when we speaks about the categories of talaq, okay, it is divided into two. One is correct manner, okay, the one is correct manner, and the second one is incorrect manner. Okay, remember when we speaks about the categories of talaq, okay, it is divided into two. The first one is the correct manner. The second one is incorrect manner. Okay. So, correct manner, we call it in Arabic as talaq sunni. Okay. The correct manner, in Arabic, we call it as talaq sunni. Okay. Talaq sunni. Okay. Right. You can see the board, right? Okay. The incorrect manner, we call it as talaqul fida. The talaqul fida or else the talaqul fida'i. Okay, talaqul fida'i. Okay, if the talaq that takes in the correct manner, we call it as talaq sunni. Okay, if the talaq that takes in a correct manner, we call it as talaq sunni. Okay, if the talak that takes in incorrect manner, if someone do a talak in incorrect manner, we call it as talakul fidai. Did you all understand? Okay. Now the condition that should be followed when doing the talak sunni. Now let's see what are the conditions that we should follow when we are doing the talak in the correct manner. Okay, what are the conditions that we should follow when we are doing the talak sunni? Okay, the correct manner we call it as talak sunni. Now let's see what are the conditions that we should follow when we are doing the talak sunni. Okay, so remember there are three types of conditions that we should follow when we are doing the talak sunni. Okay, the first one is when he is pronouncing, okay, when he is pronouncing the talak to the wife, she has to be clean. Okay, when the husband is pronouncing the talak to the wife, okay, she has to be clean. She has to be clean in the self. Okay, she has to be clean from her najis. Okay, she has to be clean from her menstruation. Okay, she has to be clean. Okay, when the husband is pronouncing the talak, okay, she has to be clean or she has to be out of her menstruation. In that situation, okay, he can pronounce the first talak. Okay, once she is clean, the first talak is pronounced. Remember, when he is pronouncing the first talak, the wife should be clean. She should not have any najis. She should be out of her menstruation. In that situation, the husband can pronounce the first talak. Okay, now let's see what is the second condition. Okay, the second condition is between the spouses, there should not be any physical connection. Okay, between the spouses, there should not be any physical connection. Okay, physical connection in the sense, children, okay, when they are doing the second talak, okay, when the husband is pronouncing the second talak, okay, there should not be any physical connection. They can't hug each other, they can't kiss each other, they can't touch each other. Okay, there should not be any physical connection. Okay, not only the physical connection, okay, they can't also have the sexual intercourse. Okay, and after she is from the najis, okay, once she has done the sexual intercourse, and after that najis, okay, after she has to be clean, okay, after she's clean, okay, then they can pronounce the second talak. Okay, again, between the spouses means couples. Okay, between the spouses there shouldn't be any physical connection. Okay, the third condition is again the third talak. Okay, when we come to the third condition, okay, again, the third talak is pronounced when she is free from her najis, okay? Once she is completely free, okay? Once she is completely clean from all the najis, okay? They can pronounce the third talak. Understood? Once the wife is completely clean from her najis, from her menstruation and everything, okay? The third talak can be pronounced. Third talak can be, the third talak can be pronounced, okay? I hope you're also using the Siddhi Father's book. Okay. The third tala can be pronounced. Okay. The incorrect. Now these are the conditions that you all should follow. Okay. When we are doing the talak in the correct manner, which is called as talak sunni. Okay. The incorrect manner is completely opposite. Okay. The incorrect manner that is opposite, completely opposite. Right? where he can have physical connection when he's pronouncing the first talak, second talak, third talak, okay, where he can have physical connection with his wife, okay, when he's pronouncing the talak. That is the incorrect way. Now see, in the first talak, the correct talak, she has to be clean, right? But in the incorrect talak, no matter whether is she clean or no, still they will pronounce the first talak. Okay. See, in the between the spouses, there shouldn't be any physical connection. But in incorrect talak, they will pronounce the second talak even though if they have the physical connection. Okay. The third one, see, third talak can be pronounced. Okay. When once after she is clean from her najis, the third talak can be pronounced in the correct manner. No. But in the incorrect manner, no matter even if she is clean or not, still they pronounce the third talak. Did you understand so far? These are the conditions that you should follow. Same, this is opposite in the incorrect one. Okay, take a note of it. Okay, these are the conditions that we should follow when we are doing the talak sunni, the correct talak. I hope everybody can see the board. Okay, okay. Same like this, that is opposite in the incorrect manner. Okay, in the incorrect talak, same this is opposite, right? Okay. Further, the talak will be divided into two according to its revocability. Okay, now let's see the two types of talak. Okay, further the talak will be divided into two according to its revocability. Okay, talak will be divided into two according to its revocability, as I told. Okay, the first one is talak raja'i. Okay, the second one is buy-in. Okay, the second one is buy-in. Remember, the talak will get divided into two according to its revocability. Okay, first one is talak raja'i. The second one is talak buy-in. Okay, talak raja'i means, okay, can be revoked. Can be revoked means they can patch up, okay? Once the talak is given, if they want to get together again, they can patch up. That is called can be revoked. Okay, but buy-in means, okay, buy-in cannot be revoked, can't revoke, okay? Can't revoke or cannot be revoked. Even after the talak is pronounced, they are permanently separated. They can't get patched up together again. Did you understand so far? The two types of talak, rajai and bain. They can patch up easily, but they can't patch. Okay, it's permanently separated. Okay, again, right? The rajai means revoke means in case of the husband wife they can. Okay, like I told. Okay, here the husband and here the wife. Okay, now they are separated. Okay, they have given talak to each other. Now, once they change their mind, okay, once their mind is changed, if they wish, only if they wish, if they feel like, okay, I can't live without him, he also can't live without her. In that situation, once they change the mind, if they wish, they can revoke together. That is called Rajai. Okay. Talak buy-in will be divided into two. Again, talak buy-in will be divided into two. Remember, talak buy-in will be divided into two. Okay, the first one is minor. Okay, the first one is minor. The second one is major. The first one is minor and the second one is major. Okay, the first one is minor and the second one is major. The minor one, we call it as Bainatus Sukra. Okay, in Arabic, the minor one, we call it as Bainatus Sukra. And the major one, we call it as Bainul Kubra. Okay, Bainul Kubra. Remember, Bain will be divided into two, minor and major. In Arabic, minor we will be calling as Bainatul Sukra. In Arabic, we call major as Bainul Kubra. Okay, did you understand? Did you understand so far? Yes. Okay. Then when we speaks about the minor, okay, when we speaks about Sukra, they can join back and they can live together. Remember, they can join and live together in minor, okay. In major, okay, again when we speaks about the major, the Kupra, okay, they can live together, but there is a big process they should follow. They can live together, okay, they can live, but if they want to live, okay, there is a big process that should be followed, okay. This is the minor. The Supra is just like Rajahi. If they wish, they can come and live together. Okay. But major, they can also live. Okay. But they have to follow a huge process when they are living together. Understood? I hope you all understood. Okay. Right. Please take a note of it. Talak will be divided into two, Rajai and Bain. Talak Rajai means can be revoked. If the husband and wife wants to join, if they wish to live together, they can live together. Okay, but in Bain, they can't. And again, Bain will be divided into two, the minor and the major. Minor, we call it as Bainatul Shukra, and major, we call as Bainul Kubra. Okay, in minor, they can live together. If the husband and wife feels like they want to live together, then they can. Okay, it's something like similar to Rajai. But in major, they can live together, but not easily. There is a big process that they should follow when they want to live together, right? Okay. Now let's see what is mean by Rajai. Okay, shortly now I explained this. Now let's speaks about Rajai with examples. Okay. Let's speaks about Rajai with examples. Okay. Okay. Imagine here husband and here wife. Okay. Due to some reason, these both people fought. Okay, they are fighting and they got fought. Okay, due to some reasons they fought and now they are separated. Now both of them are separated. Okay, they are separated, right? And both doesn't like to live each other. Husband doesn't like to live with wife and wife doesn't like to live with husband. Okay, and now they are going to the court, and once they go to the court, why do they go to the court? A court is a place where they give us solution whether are these both spouses going to live together or no, right? Once they vote, they are taking a decision. Okay, we are going to do talak. Okay, and they're going to go to the court. Okay, once they go to the court, okay, now court is giving them three conditions. Okay, court is giving them a time period, right? Between the couples, okay, husband and wife, they will have to do the time period. Okay, which the time period means the first talak, the second talak, and the third talak. Okay, in the third talak only, the last talak, the third talak is the last talak where the couple should decide whether they are going to stay together or no. Did you understand? Third talak is the last talak where they should decide whether are they going to stay together or no. Understood? Okay, and after the first and second talak is completed, okay, after the first and second talak is completed, the wife should stay in Iddah. The wife should stay in Iddah. What is mean by Iddah? Iddah means the counting period. Okay. Iddah means the counting period where she get to change her mind. Understood. Sometimes wife might change during her Iddah period. Wife might think, okay, I can't live without my husband. I want to go back to her. So before the third talaq pronounced, she has to go and patch up with the husband. That is called as the Iddah period. The Iddah period is given to freshen up her mind to get a better solution by Allah. You will understand what is Iddah. Iddah means to get a better solution, you stay. Okay. And if husband and wife thinks that they wants to live together, okay, before the third talaq pronounced, they have to go and live together, they have to patch up together. Then in that situation the third talaq will be cancelled. Okay, why? Because they got patch up before the third talaq is pronounced. Okay, so in that situation the third talaq is cancelled, and that is called as raja'i. Okay, did you understand that one? Two, one husband and wife, they fought for some reason and they doesn't like to live together. So what they did was they went to court to get talak. Okay, so from the court they gave them three conditions, three time period: the first talak, the second talak, and the third talak. Okay, one the once the first and second talak is pronounced, the wife has to stay in iddah. Why? Because if she stays in the iddah, sometimes her mind can change, she will get a better solution. Okay, once she get a better solution, once she feels like, okay, I want to live with my husband again, then she has to go to her husband and talk properly. I mean, she has to go to her husband, talk, and they have to patch up again before the third talak is pronounced. Okay, if they got patch up together before the third talak is pronounced, okay, then the third talak will be cancelled. Understood? The third talak will be completely cancelled. Why? Because they got patch up before the third talaq is pronounced. Okay. Okay. That is called as Raja'i. Now let's see. Okay. The minor and the major, the Sukra and the Kubra. Okay. The minor and the Kubra. Okay. In minor, they will be doing the first and second talak, and before the third talak pronounced, it's same like Rajai. As I told, the first talak will be pronounced, the second talak will be pronounced, and before the third talak, if they patch up together, then the third talak will be cancelled. That is called as minor. They can live together if they wish. Okay, but in major talak, okay, when we come to major talak, okay, once the third talaq is pronounced, now see, the husband and wife fought, they went to the court and now they are pronouncing the talaq. Okay, the first talaq is also pronounced. The second talaq is also pronounced. The third talaq is also pronounced. Okay, the first talaq is pronounced, the second talaq is pronounced, and the third talaq is pronounced. Okay, now they are separatedly. Okay, now they are permanently separated. After the third talaq is pronounced, the husband and wife is permanently separated. Okay, and once they completely separated, okay, if the wife and husband wants to live together, then wife has to, okay, now after the third talak is pronounced, okay, see, now here husband and here wife. Okay, now they both are completely separated. I'll erase this. Okay, now they both are completely separated and they wants to live together. Okay, if the wife wants to live together, okay, if the wife wants to live together with the husband, okay, if the wife wants to live with this is her first husband, okay, this is her first husband. So if she wants to live with the husband, what she have to do in major, okay, in the major type, she has to get married to another man, the second man. Okay, let's keep it as second husband. Okay, the wife has to get married for another man, divorce him, and then only she has to get married for the first one again. Do you understand? They can revoke, they can be patched up together, but there is a big process. As I told, if wife wants to live with the husband, okay, wife has to marry another man, divorce him, and then only she has to marry the first husband. Okay, but this is very rare in the society. This is not happening now. Okay, they don't follow this rule. This is very completely rare. Okay, understood, right? The wife wants to live with the husband, she will marry a second man, she will divorce the second husband, and then she will have to marry the first husband again if she wants to revoke. Okay, right. Now let's talk about the talaq which could be called and identified by the other names. Okay, the talaq which could be identified and called by the other names. The first one is lihar, the second one is li'an, and the third one, first one is lihar, the second one is lian, and the third one is ila'u. Okay, the first one is lihar, the second one is lian, and the third one is ila'u. Okay, yes, these are the three. Okay, these are the three talak which could be called and identified by other names. Now let's see what is mean by lihar. Okay, if the person in the sense, if the husband is comparing his wife to his mother, then it is called as lihar. Okay, the husband is comparing his wife to his mother. Husband is telling, in your age my mother was working a lot, in your age, my mother was looking after many children. She was giving birth to many children. In your age, my mother was cooking very goodly. She was cooking many foods. But why can't he cook? Which means husband is comparing his wife to his mother. Okay, that is called as liha. Okay, comparing one's wife physically to that of his mother for a despicable of this nature. Okay, husband is comparing his wife to his mother, then it is called as lihar. Okay, note it down. Comparing. Okay, lihar means the husband is comparing the wife to the mother. Okay, the second one is li. The second one is li'an. Now let's see what is mean by li'an. Okay, the second talak which can be called by other name is li'an. Okay, li'an means making false allegations or abuse to his wife. Okay, li'an means for false reason saying, okay, the husband is telling, okay, now husband is telling, this is husband and this is wife. Okay, this is husband, this is wife. For false reason, husband is telling everyone that my wife is a bad person. She talks to many boys. She stays with many boys. Okay, she doesn't know to speak to people. Okay, for lies, the husband is putting false promises. She's abusing his wife, right? He is abusing his own wife. That is called as lihan. Okay, he is putting false reason by saying that my wife is a bad person, or he is putting false allegation. Okay, what is lihan? Lihan means making false allegation to his wife. Making false allegations making false allegation to his wife. He is completely abusing his wife. Okay, the third one is ila'u. Okay, the third one is ila'u. I hope everyone is using the Siddhikadar's book. Okay, so I'm not the one who is creating fake stories and explaining here. Okay, I'm learning what I learned. Remember, I am learning what I learned, and I'm not teaching fake things, right? So I hope everyone is using the Siddhikadar's book. Okay, the orange color grade 10 book, right? Not the grade 10 book, sorry, grade 11, Siddhikadar's, same author. Okay, whatever is taught in that only I'm also teaching. Okay, I'm not teaching fake here, right? Okay, let's see what is mean by ila'u. Ila'u means, okay, the husband is promising in the name of Allah. The husband, okay, the husband is promising in the name of Allah that he will not have any physical connection with her. Okay, now husband and wife. Okay, husband is promising in the name of Allah, saying Allah. Husband is telling that, okay, I promise on you that I will never touch my wife. I will never have any physical contact with my wife. Okay, in that situation, once he promise, okay, once the husband promises, okay, he will get 4 month of time, 4 month of periods. Okay, he get 4 month duration to make up his mind, right? Once the husband promised to Allah that he will not have any physical contract, okay, he will has a time period about 4 months to make up his mind. If he wish to go and live with her, he can live. He have to think, he have to make up his mind in this duration, this 4 months. Did you understand? Dihar means comparing his wife physically to his mother, telling, my mother was cooking well in your age. She was looking after many kids. Why can't you look after? Comparing, right? Yes. So Dihan means making false allegation to his wife. Husband is going and telling everyone that my wife is not a good person. She's talking to many boys. She's not talking properly, putting, he is applying false allegation to his own wife. Okay, ilahu means, okay, the husband is promising about the Allah, saying that he will not have any physical contact with her. In that situation, he will have 4 months time period to make up his mind. If he wish, he can go and live with his wife. If not, he can leave it. Understood? Did you understand? Okay. Now let's see what is mean by Iddah. Okay, let's see what is mean by Iddah. Lihar, Li'an, Ilahu. Okay, Lihar, Lihan and Ilahu. Those are the three talak which could be called or identified by the other names. Okay, now let's see what is mean by Iddah. Okay, the literal meaning of Iddah is counting. Okay, counting the days. The literal meaning of Iddah is counting. Okay, so Iddah means counting, right? Okay. The meaning of this word is counting, taking count of, etc. We count the number of months, okay? It can be 3 months, it can be 4 months, it can be 10 months. Sorry, 10 days, okay? It can be 3 months, it can be 4 months, and it can be 10 months. The counting days can be differs, okay? Okay. Yes, it can be 3 months, it can be 4 months. Wait, I'll drink some water and come. Hold on. Okay. I'm back, right? Okay. So Itta means, the literal meaning of Itta means counting. As I told, it can be 3 months, it can be 4 months, or else it can be 10 days also, right? Now for an example, okay, now for an example, the husband, the wife, okay, the husband and the wife, okay. Wife's husband, if this person dies, okay, if this person dies, the wife has to stay in Iddah. So in case, okay, now this is husband and this is wife, there are two couples, okay. Imagine, so this husband dies, okay, the wife or husband of this wife dies, okay. In that case, this wife has to stay in Iddah for 4 months and 10 days, okay. If the husband dies, the wife has to stay in Iddah for 4 months and 10 days. Why do they need to do? Tell. I mean, why do they need to stay in Iddah? Now let's see, why do they need to stay in Iddah? Okay, so in case if she had any physical contract, okay, so once the husband is died, she can get married to another man, right? So once the husband is died, the wife can get married to another man. Okay, so in that case, okay, the wife has to stay in Iddah for 4 months and 10 days to check whether did she have any physical contact or any sexual contact with her husband. Okay, during these 4 months, they will check whether she is pregnant or no before she get married to the other men. Did you understand? She will stay in Iddah for 4 months and 10 days to check whether did she have any physical contact or sexual intercourse with the husband, okay, before she get married to the second husband. Okay, it is compulsory. It is compulsory on every Muslims. Okay, every woman it's compulsory. Okay, this month is given, this counting period is given to check whether is she pregnant or no. Okay, so when we speaks about Iddah, remember Iddah brings about many benefits. Okay, Iddah brings us many benefits. When we speaks about the counting days, okay, the Iddah, it brings us many benefits. Okay, the Iddah period for a woman to stay when her husband dies. Okay, the Iddah period for a woman to stay when her husband dies is 4 months and 10 days. Okay, this is the Iddah period for a wife when her husband is died. She has to stay 4 months and 10 days. Okay, the Iddah period for a pregnant woman. Okay, here husband and here wife. Now husband and wife. Okay, now the wife is pregnant. Now she is pregnant. In case now she is pregnant. Okay, for an example, now she is pregnant and her husband passed away. Okay, then for Iddah period, the Iddah period for the pregnant woman is she has to stay Iddah until her childbirth. Until she gives birth to her child, she has to stay in Iddah. Once the once the child is born, okay, she can come out of her Iddah. Okay, she has to stay in Iddah period until she gives the birth to her child. Okay. During her pregnancy, if her husband passed away, she has to stay in Iddah until she gives the birth to her child. Okay. Once she give birth to her child, she can come out of it. She can do whatever she wants. Did you understand that part? Did you understand so far? 4 months and 10 days is for a woman whose husband is dead. Okay. This one is for a pregnant woman. Until she give birth to her child, she has to stay in Iddah. Okay. Did you understand so far? Yes. Yes, Zainab. Okay. So remember, during the Iddah period, the wife cannot do anything. She can't get married to another man or she can't talk to any males. Okay. These are the things that they should follow when they are in the Iddah. Remember. Okay. Right. So that's all about the second lesson today we thought. What did we study today? We studied about the two manner, the correct manner and the incorrect manner. Okay, the correct manner. If the talak is happening in the correct manner, we call it as talak sunni. And if the talak is happening in the incorrect manner, we call it as incorrect. We call it as talakul fida. Okay, so the condition that should be followed when we are doing the correct talak. Okay, there are conditions that we should follow when we are doing the talak in the correct manner. The first one is when he is pronouncing the talak to his wife, she has to be clean. She has to be out of her najis. She should be over from her menstruation. Okay. The second talak is, okay, between the spouses. When the second talak is going to pronounce, okay, between the spouses, there should not be any physical connection, okay? Right before the, yeah. Second condition is between the spouses there should not be any physical connection. Physical connection means they should not hug each other, they should not kiss each other, there should not be any sexual intercourse. Okay, once she is clean from the najis, then the third talaq can be pronounced. Okay, the third condition is once after she is completely clean from her whole najis, okay, then the third talaq can be cleansed. Okay, then the opposite condition of incorrect talaq is, okay, the incorrect manner, right? The correct talak means talaks only. Same that the opposite is only the correct incorrect manner. Okay. Husband can hug while he's giving the second talak. Husband can have any physical contact when he's giving the second talak. Okay. That is called as incorrect manner. Okay. The opposite of correct one. Okay. So when we speaks about talak, I'm revising, darling. Okay. When we speaks about talak, it divides into two, Raja'i and Bain. Okay, Raja'i means temporary separation where they can patch up together if they wish. Okay, buy-in means cannot be revoked. Okay, buy-in will be divided into two. First one is minor and the second one is major. Okay, minor means they can join back and live together. Okay, it is easy as Raja'i. But major, they can live together, but there is a huge process they should follow if they want to live together. Okay, now let's see what is the process that they should follow. Okay, let's see what is the process that they should follow. Imagine, okay, the husband and the wife. Okay, husband and the wife. Okay, the husband of this wife is dead. Okay, sorry, not dead. Okay, sorry. Okay, here two couples. Okay, now they both got talak. They are separated. Now they both are separated. The husband and the wife, now they are separated. Okay, now the wife feels like, okay, I can't live without my husband. I want to go back to my husband. In that case, she has to, this is her first husband. Okay, in that case, she has to marry another man, the second husband, and she has to divorce him, and then again she has to marry the first husband. In that case, she can live with her first husband. That is called as major, the kubra. Okay, penal kubra, right? So there are three talaq which can be identified by other names. One is lihar, lihan, and ila'um. Lihar means if the husband is comparing his wife physically to his mother, okay, saying that you can't do this, you can't cook this, you can't give birth to child, you can't do anything. That means he is comparing, no? Okay. Li'an means for false reason, saying, okay, the husband is telling for everyone that my wife is bad. She's talking to many boys, she's talking to many men, she's having contact with everyone. The husband is abusing his wife. Okay, that is called as li'an. Okay, ilahu means, okay, the husband is promising in the name of Allah that he will not have any physical connection with his wife. Okay, promising. Okay, li'au means promising in the name of Allah. Okay, that he will not have any physical touch or physical contact with his wife. Okay, so for him, for the husband, he gets 4 months time. Okay, if he wants to live with her, live with his wife, he can live. Okay, so there will be 4 months time period given to him if he wants to fix his wish. Okay, the iddah. Iddah means, okay, if a husband, okay, if now this is a husband and this is wife, husband, wife. Okay, so the iddah period for a iddah period for a woman to stay when her husband, the wife of this husband, is dead. Okay, then iddah period for this wife is 4 months and 10 days. Okay, if the husband is dead, it's 4 months and 10 days. Okay, if the husband is dead during her pregnancy, okay, if the husband is dead during her pregnancy, she has to stay in iddah until she gives birth to her child. Okay, did you understand this one so far? Did you understand? Okay. So that's all about the session today. Okay, hope you all understood. Today at 8 p.m., like I told yesterday, I was unable to do the questions, okay, because until I complete the full chapter, I will not be able to do the question. So inshallah, hopefully I can do the poll questions in the WhatsApp. Okay, please be active around 8 o'clock, okay, sharply at 8 o'clock. We will be keeping the poll questions, okay, and inshallah we'll meet there. And is there any doubt? If there is any doubt, please drop me a message personally. I'll explain you. Okay, so that's all for today's session. Okay, let's end up the session now. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.